Hi Shivam, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Shivam, just tell the people who don't know about you or your store or your business.
So, my name is Shivam Jaiswal. I started with this business in September 2019 with this cart. So, I used to bring this cart outside commercial Broadway SkyTrain station in Vancouver. Because when I moved to Vancouver, I was living close by, close to that area, and I realized, it's just that the culture of the city is such that everybody is walking with a cup of beverage in their hand. So I thought like it would be interesting if they have like hot cup of chai, because in Canada or like in North America, chai has a very different meaning. Like as a taste also similar to like Indian food.
Yeah.
Like because I guess like they change the cuisine according to the demographic, according to the people living in the country. So they changed chai also. So chai became chai tea.
Yeah.
And it was a very different product. And I grew up like drinking chai in India. So when I moved here, I wanted to have like a same cup of chai,
Yeah.
but that was not possible.
Okay.
So I
when
tried-
you said
Yeah.
you tried chai, was it the same taste or no?
No, it was very different. Like the process of making that chai was very different too.
Okay.
And hence the product was very different too.
Okay.
But that's the human mentality, right? Like once you start having something, people get used to it, and
Yeah.
then that's what they just keep drinking.
Yeah.
So I wanted to like sell a authentic cup of chai,
Yeah.
and also like in an authentic way, so which is using this like cart.
Okay.
And especially like putting the cart outside train stations.
Yeah.
Because I thought like in my head that like especially Indian population in Vancouver, they would really connect with it, because like people who have grown up in India, they must have seen like similar looking wagons like in
Yeah.
India. So I thought like it would be interesting. And the product itself, like it's not that, because in the beginning when we started making chai, it was different taste. Like we were making it in an authentic way, but then again, because I wanted to sell it, I wanted to make
Yeah.
a business. So I would ask our customers, like get the feedback from them, like the sugar level, how the sugar level is, the spices that we were adding, milk that we were using. So, and from there on, like we came to a recipe, and now it's the same recipe now.
Okay. So you came as an international student.
Yes.
So
Yes.
tell us about your story. How did you come to Vancouver? When did you come to Vancouver? And how did you start everything from scratch?
So it's like I came to Canada in 2009.
2009.
Yeah, so that's it's a long time ago, like 15 years,
15
almost
years
15 years,
ago.
yeah. And I came to Toronto in Humber College. I studied there. I worked in the city. I got my permanent residency, and then I moved to Winnipeg.
Okay.
So Winnipeg was a very like different experience, because I wanted to it's not that I was getting sick of Toronto, like it's a very big city.
Yeah.
But then I wanted to experience something different, and then I moved to Winnipeg. So Winnipeg is a very different, like if I would suggest everyone like to go to Winnipeg, live there for a couple of years to actually experience like real Canadian weather, Canadian culture. So because Canadian culture to me is like this resilience, because of the weather. Like weather in Vancouver is very mild.
Yeah.
So I don't get like when people complain about the weather here. So this is nothing. This is the mildest weather like in overall Canada. But like when I went to Winnipeg, I lived there for 3 years. So I saw 3 winters there, and I loved my time. Like I had the best time so far. Like in Canada, I had the best time in Winnipeg. And the problem is like it's a smaller city, and then I always wanted to do like a business like after I got my permanent residency. And then I started exploring some opportunities. I did something in Winnipeg also, but because like you're not able to scale your business,
Yeah.
so I started looking for other opportunities. And I wanted to experience something else also, like
Yeah.
weather wise.
Yeah.
And I've never been to Vancouver, but my cousin brother was living here already. So I came here just to visit, and I just fell in love. Just the mountains and the ocean within, like 20-25 minutes. It's just
What did
like,
you love the most about it?
First is the mountains. I think like I really like mountains. So the first thing is that I noticed is just like this huge mountains. And before coming to Vancouver, I did a trip in Cali, like Banff. Jasper,
Yeah,
that area too. So that of course like that is very beautiful. But
Yeah.
that's like that is a very touristy city,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So you cannot actually think of living there.
Yeah.
But Vancouver, it's a very big city. Like city-wise, it's a big city, and then the ocean and the
Beaches and
mountains.
everything.
Yeah. So it's very close by. And I came here just to visit for like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I just started thinking about, because that's how like it's just like always in my head.
Yeah.
Like even now also I keep thinking about like what new we can do like business wise. So that's just like it's just inbuilt, I guess. So when I moved here just to visit, I started thinking, I started exploring the city, and I realized like it's a very like walking friendly city.
Yeah.
Because in Winnipeg, I've never seen that. Like in summers, you would see people walking, but in winters, it's like you don't actually enjoy walking outside
all dead.
because it's very.
Yeah.
There are people, but it's just very, very cold.
Yeah.
So you don't actually enjoy your walk. But here, people are enjoying the walks. The city is built in a way like there are big sidewalks.
Yeah.
So the government want people to like walk, and then it's good too, and then bicycle and all that.
Yeah.
And I realized like everybody has like a cup of beverage in their hand.
True.
So I thought, like it would be interesting if there is. And then I went to like different restaurants here, different places which were famous for chai back then, and it was not the same chai. So I thought like there is a business opportunity, like if I'm giving like a real taste of chai. And then I started thinking, because I would have got like a similar looking food cart which like everybody has here.
Yeah.
That's the culture of North America. Like you think of a certain kind of like how the trailer is going to look like a food truck or food
truck,
cart.
Yeah.
But then I thought, like if I'm selling actual chai, like I'm not selling like a chai tea or something, so I should do it like in an authentic way.
Yeah.
So from there on, we started making like designs for this cart. Like making the design was okay because I've seen this growing up everywhere.
Yeah.
So making the design was okay, but then going through the city, getting the permission, because this is one of a kind.
Yeah.
Like nobody did this before us. So getting permission for this, that if this is okay to put it on the streets and then sell chai.
Yeah.
Like, so it was exciting, but then it took a lot of time also.
Yeah.
But I mean, like it's worth it. Like,
It's definitely
like,
worth it.
yeah.
So when you said you opened up this cart to be authentic, just like your chai. So when you sold your first chai, what was the reaction for the customer?
So I remember very clearly, like I came, so this cart would go on top of a trailer, and that trailer we will attach to a car,
Yeah.
so all together, and it was very new to me. Like I never drew like a trailer attached to a car, because it becomes like a huge car.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have to think about when you're driving. So I mean, the very first customer, like it was my friend. So like of course, like he would say it's a good chai. But I mean, when it was very first day also, like outside the commercial station, we got like really good response. And I think it was because of the look of this cart.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually the product, but it was the, like how the cart was looking, and how the atmosphere that we created, right? Like this wagon outside of a train station in Canada. So it's something
It's
unique.
different, yeah.
Yeah, and then people, like we caught the eye of the people. And that's what we wanted, like in the
Right,
beginning.
right.
And as I said before, like the chai back then was different. But of course, like we were making it in an authentic way. But I started getting feedback from people, and then we adjusted the sugar level, we adjusted the milk level, like we adjusted the spices that we were using. And the feedback wise, like we got like really amazing feedback. Like, we had like till now also, I mean, like the whole business is because of our customers. They keep coming back, they keep giving us like good feedback, and then our target is to keep improving.
Yeah.
Like we never want to, like just stick to one thing,
Yeah.
but we always want to improve. And that is all because of our customers. We take like the feedback of our customers very seriously.
Yeah.
So that way, like so far because it's not that I come from a business background. Like I just wanted to do it. And I mean, the best way is to do it and then just keep doing it. And then in the meanwhile, you will keep getting feedback, or like you should go out of your way and get the feedback of your customers and then improve your product. Yeah.
So you said you had only chai. So what kind of products do we have now? Tell me, just walk me through the evolution, like how did you evolve from just a chai to this? It's a long journey, right?
Yeah, so of course, like, the very first day also, like when we opened this wagon outside the train station, like I always had in my mind that I want to expand the business. Eventually, I want to have a store, and then eventually I want to have more stores, because since, like, I always believed, and I still believe, that chai as a product is just like so much potential. Like a real chai, it has just so much potential. It makes, like, because that's like, I've grew up like drinking chai, and then it made my experience better, and it made like millions of other people who are drinking chai, their experience better. So I thought, like, of course, like it's a great product. It's, like, it has great potential. So we started with this one wagon September 2019. We got really good feedback, and then in March of 2020 we got 3 more carts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, from China we imported these carts just in few months. And then, if you remember, like March 2020, that's when pandemic also happened, right? Like COVID happened. So like nobody knew, like what it is. In the beginning we thought this is just a normal flu, but then everything shut down. And I have these 4 carts that I want to operate. I have these operating costs. So I had to do something. So of course, like, we had to shut down everything like everybody did. But again, like, that gave me an opportunity. I started exploring the city again.
Yeah.
Like the parks, and because those things I didn't like till so far. Like, I was just exploring the city, like the sidewalk, the main city wise. But I never experienced like the so many parks that Vancouver has, right? And in COVID, people were getting out, but they were going out. They were not going to school or work. So the sidewalks of the city, they were empty.
Yeah.
So I couldn't be on the sidewalk, because that was the initial plan, to get more carts and then to put them on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
But then there is nobody there on the sidewalk. There is nobody there on the train stations. So the business was not there. But then I started exploring the parks, and then people were still getting out. They were going to the parks, and I think we were shut down for, like, we were lucky. We were only shut down for like 2 or 3 weeks, and after that we started operating our carts again, like in a different location.
Yeah.
So we, changed our plan a little bit, and then gradually we were operating 4 carts for last 3 years now. And this store, it actually took a long time. Like the planning, the getting the permission from the city. It's just like, I mean, like, of course it's a process, and it was very first experience for me, but it was a very stressful time. But yeah, so since then we had like 4 carts. Now also we have 4 carts, and this is our first physical location.
Okay. So you mentioned that it was a long journey to open this store.
Yeah.
A lot of people say running a business, it's very easy. It's okay. But running a restaurant, we have heard it's tough. It's running a cafe or a restaurant, it's tough. So do you wake up early? Do you sleep late? How do you manage all these things, all of it once together? Like, how do you do it?
So for me, actually, like, of course, like, running a restaurant is not easy. And the reason is, I think, according to me, like, first of all, you need like a good location to sell your products. And in order to get a good location, it will be very expensive.
Definitely.
So first, your, like, every month cost is just that. Like, a fixed cost is huge. And then on top of that, food business, you don't have that much margin. Like, it's not that you can create something for $5 and you can sell it for $100. Yeah. It's not like other businesses. So if you're making something for $5, you can only sell it for like, $6.50 or $7 maximum. So there is not much margin, like when you calculate other costs.
I think
also
you have to play with quantity.
Yeah, but also I think like there has to be like, the reason why I started this business was that there is, like, I want to create this story. I want to create, like, of course the brand, it will create a brand, like, if we have a story. So I want to create this story around chai, and then around the culture that chai brings. So, because I think people will connect to it, and especially in today's world, you need something that you can connect to.
Yeah.
So, of course, like Indian people, we connect to chai, but I want other people also to experience this product, and like to experience the culture around chai. So that way, like that was the mentality, like when we were starting the business also, that to create something around chai, and then people will connect to it, and that way I think like people can keep coming back.
Yeah.
So that was the idea, and this it will be the idea, like, as far as we go along.
Yeah.
But yeah, like restaurant business is not easy to operate.
So walk me through your schedule for a whole day.
Oh yeah. So I like running restaurant business for me, like it's easier than operating food carts, yeah, around the city, because I mean, like, this is a physical store. I don't have to move the store from one place to other.
Yeah.
Like the carts, I would get up like really early in the morning, like prepare the chai, and then bring these food carts from our storage to the location where we have to set up.
Yeah.
And then people would come and they work in the carts, and then I would, at the end of the day, I would bring those carts back to the storage, clean them up, get ready for the next day. So that it was like, long day. I had to get up early, but it's good. Like, it's good getting up early. So I mean, but for me, to be honest, like running a store, it's easier than running the carts business.
But people complain a lot about running a store. Like, what do you have to say about that?
People complain about all sort of things, man. People complain about all sort of things. I mean, I cannot say on their behalf, but I have no complaints. Like in general also, I mean,
That's your make everything in a positive way, right?
yeah, I mean, like if you really want to do something in life, you cannot complain, because that's what you choose to do. It's not that somebody forced me to do this. I choose to do this, so there is no point complaining.
Yeah.
Of course, there are days, still, and then it will be always like that. But I mean, I made this choice, so there is nothing to complain.
Yeah.
And I seriously believe that if you, I think like if anybody wants to start a business, they should start a business. But before starting a business, research a lot. Think about it, that you really want to do this or not, because it is going to be a long journey. Nothing happens like overnight.
True.
So just think before starting a business, and once you start, then just don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't back out. You just have to keep finding ways to make it work. And you will find ways. It's not like, like if you really want to do something, people will help you, because people can see that you, because actually, like, I have met like like great people along the way, and they helped me a lot. They gave me this like super important suggestions, which we implemented in the business, and because of that, it actually worked. Like, for example, customers, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't listen to the customers, and if you just want to sell what is in your head, then it might not work. So of course, like, you have to get feedback from people, you have to get feedback from your mentors. So I was lucky that way.
Okay. So that's a business side. So let me touch emotional side a little bit.
Sure.
So when you see your customers having your chai, having your product, what do you feel? We already talked about this before, but let me ask it again. So what do you feel when you see people having your product?
Like, the most satisfying thing is, what I realized is that people are starting to getting to know, like, it's just chai, it's not chai tea. The what is the meaning of chai?
Yeah.
Because that is very important to us. Like, we have to educate our customers that, what our product is and what are we trying to do with the product. And yeah, like, so whenever I see anybody having a cup of chai and they enjoying it, because they give us the feedback, like, especially our ginger chai, like, we use this organic ginger, and it just like warms up your body, like, especially in like a cold weather, like, it warms up your body, and it stays with you like for most of your day. So you remember that, like, you had this drink, it made your day better, and then you want to have it again to experience it the same way.
Yeah.
So, like, I am just like very satisfied. Like, whenever I see someone like enjoying a chai or like any product, I mean, like, I feel very satisfied.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what other business would you do if not chai wagon?
Right now, I just don't have any time, to think about.
If not chai wagon, then what would you do?
Something that reminds me of India. That, like, because it's just like a huge part of my personality.
Yeah.
Because the country that you are born in and the country that you are born and brought up in, there is no way, like, you can take it out from you.
True.
So even if, like, I've moved here, but like, I'm very Indian, in that way. So I always wanted to do a business, but I always wanted to do something that I connect with, because otherwise, like, I would not be able to go like for a long run. So I mean, like, as long as it is something, that connects me with India, I would love to do, take that opportunity. Yeah.
So people say, is there going to be more type of chai in our store, or is just going to be these 2 or 3? Are you
No,
planning to
we
introduce more type of chais in the store or no?
No, of course, like we, especially like now we have a physical store.
Yeah.
So now we can play around with the menu, we can introduce more menu. But our objective is always, like giving, like limited food products or like giving limited chai options, but keep working on, like making it better and better. And once we have reached that point, that if we have like 15 products that, like we know, okay, now this is our product, then we can go on like introduce other products. But personally, I don't want to like, offer hundreds of products where, like we cannot specialize in those products. So I want to, even if like we are offering 15 products, but we want to specialize in all those 15 products. Like I want people to like, I want to give like distinguished taste, like when it comes to chai also, we have 3 kind of chai.
Yeah.
But all 3 kind, they have like different flavors. So we try to do that. But of course, like once we are satisfied with our products that we have, and then we will think of adding more.
Okay. So a lot of people who wants to start a business, who are new entrepreneurs in the industry and who are just started out, like, what advice do you have for them to just sustain in the market and keep growing? Like, what advice do you have for them?
I mean, in the beginning, it is going to be hard. I'll be honest. But then it will always be going to be hard. Like it's not that if somebody wanted to start a business 50 years from now or like 50 years ago, it would be hard for them also. Because you're trying to go out of the normal. You're trying to introduce a product or service that was not there before. Or even if it was there, you're introducing like your own version of the product. So of course, like, introducing something new, and as like human nature is such, like we are just used to, like we have schedules, we have work. So it's just like we're used to a routine.
Yeah, we don't try new things.
Yeah, so it's not easy for us to break that routine and to try something new.
Yeah.
But then it is up to the business owner, to make them try the products. Like for example, when I started the business, like I started this cart in September 2019. But then I started researching about, like our product, how will people see our product, or even if they know, like what chai is and all that. I started researching 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So I would go outside, I would talk to people where I'm thinking like I'll put my cart here. So for example, if I wanted to put a cart outside Commercial Broadway station, so I would go there in the morning, I would talk to people, they're lining up for buses or trains. I would go there and I would ask them like, what do you think, like if there is a, like authentic looking chai wagon outside here serving hot cup of chai, would you give it a try? And then I mean, if you, like go out of your way and if you ask people, of course they want to try. Yeah. But then if you don't do anything out of the normal, and then it's nobody's gonna come to you and buy your product.
Yeah.
Unless like you make an effort and you keep making an effort, until you sustain in the business. Yeah. I mean, that's the only rule. That is, there's nothing else.
So to summarize everything, I'm just gonna ask you last question. What is the future of Chai Wagon? What are you?
Worldwide, not right now.
Okay.
But I want to go worldwide. I want to have Chai Wagon in India. That's for sure. But for now, we have this physical store. We want to, like operate this store to the maximum capacity. Like having like the best customer service experience out there, having the best products, having our customers to keep coming back. So that is like, the immediate action that we are going to do, that we are doing right now. But yes, we are looking for opportunities to open up another store in the city, and probably like multiple stores in the coming years. But I I don't, because I have devoted my whole life to this now. In my head, like this is what I want to do for rest of my life. So I have time. It's not that, like I want to do it in, like quickly. I want to expand the business in a sustainable way so that we don't lose like the products that we have. I want to have the same product, same taste, same service, same everything, so that like people connect with it. They don't think, because that's what happens like when a business expands too quickly, it's just too hard to, like operate it in a way which you want to. So yeah, I mean, we want to expand the business.
Just 10 more minutes.
10 more minutes?
Yeah.
Do you have coffee here?
We
Yeah,
do.
yeah, but we just open in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
उसको तो lock तो कर दो.
कोई नहीं है brand.
So yeah, to answer your question, we want to expand the business. We are already looking for like places to open another store, but yeah, like in a sustainable way. Like we want people to partner with us, but right kind of people. Like it's not that if somebody has money, then we're like, it has to be, because like I've given so much time to this business, so like I'm really like into it. So I mean, like if I want to give a piece of it to someone else, like I would think a lot. But yeah, the idea is to expand it, like have this authentic cup of chai, because I really believe that our chai is, because that's how we make it like in a very authentic way, like how it is supposed to be made. And making a chai is not hard, like it's very easy, like everybody drinks. But I mean, we just want to expand the business in a way which is sustainable to keep the same taste. Yeah.
That's it for today.
Okay,
I
thank
think
you so
we'll
much.
talk more in next podcast.
Sure, thanks for having me.
हाँ भाई
कितनी देर हुआ?
कितनी देर हुआ पता नहीं